Sam Bennett is turning the Stanley Cup Final into his personal demolition derby, and the Edmonton Oilers are feeling every bit of it. In Game 3 of the playoffs, Bennett delivered a brutal reminder of why he's been one of the most punishing forces in these playoffs. It started in the second period when Vasily Podkolzin made the mistake of drifting into Bennett's lane. One thunderous check later, Podkolzin was spinning to the ice, his behind-the-back pass to Klingberg immediately forgotten. Bennett wasn't finished, without so much as a glance at the flattened Podkolzin, because why would he? He zeroed in on John Klingberg next, drilling him into the boards to force the turnover. Seconds later, the puck was on his stick, and Bennett was finishing the job himself with a breakaway goal that stunned the crowd and broke the Oilers' rhythm. It was a single shift that showcased everything Bennett brings to the game. With every game, it's becoming harder to ignore. Bennett isn't just contributing, he's dictating terms. With ice in his veins, Bennett froze Stuart Skinner and fired right as the goalie leaned left, extending the lead to 4-1, and all but breaking Edmonton's spirit. After the goal in an eventual 6-1 rout, Sam Bennett raised a fist and wrapped teammate Matthew Tkachuk in a celebration that said it all: shock and domination. Tkachuk's mouth hung open in disbelief, as if even he couldn't quite believe what Bennett had just pulled off. That's been the story all postseason. Bennett has become the fiery engine behind Florida's third straight trip to the Stanley Cup Final. A wrecking ball with a scoring touch, thriving when the games matter most. That 6-1 dismantling of the Oilers pushed the Panthers to a 2-1 series lead and brought them within 2 wins of a second consecutive title. And Bennett's Conn Smythe campaign? It's getting louder by the game. Bennett is adored in the Panthers locker room and despised by the rest of the league. But love him or hate him, there's no debating it. The 2024 Stanley Cup champion is a winner. That's exactly why Brad Marchand, who kicked off the scoring with his 8th goal of the postseason, put it simply: he's been an animal this whole playoffs. He's built for this time of year. That shift was textbook Bennett. He destroys 2 guys, then somehow leads the rush and scores a beauty. Marchand kept going. He does it all. He doesn't flinch. He battles. He lives in the dirty areas, and that's where championships are won. Marchand had so many positive things to say about Bennett's game that his teammate Sam Reinhart had to nudge him during their post-game media session to let someone else get a word in. "Sorry, we've got to wrap it up," Marchand quipped. But he's been great. Bennett quietly put up 51 points, 25 goals, 26 assists in the regular season, 5th most on the team, but in the playoffs, he's been nothing short of dominant. His 20 points lead all Panthers skaters, and his 14 goals are the most by any player in the postseason. He's scored in every game of the Stanley Cup Final so far, including 2 in Florida's 4-3 overtime loss in Game 1, and the opening goal just 2 minutes into their 5-4 double overtime thriller in Game 2. Even the team captain Alexander Barkov had a lot to say about him. He's been incredible. Yeah, he's scoring, but he's also doing everything else. Carrying the puck, making plays, defending. He's just on another level right now. Bennett's latest goal extended his goal streak to 4 games, setting a new Panthers playoff record. "That was a textbook Benny goal," said Matthew Tkachuk. "Big hit, great block from Luostarinen, and then Benny finishes it off. That's his game in one sequence." And the timing of his playoff explosion couldn't be better. The 28-year-old is set to become a free agent this summer, and he's playing like a man about to get paid. The first 2 games of the series were showcases of speed and finesse, with both teams trading overtime wins. But Game 3, that was played on Florida's terms. Gritty, rough, and downright nasty. Florida had been on a 5-game winning streak before they suffered a Game 1 loss in Edmonton, but that defeat didn't shake their confidence on the road. Despite not having the last line change, the Panthers have held their ground against Edmonton's potent offense, led by centers Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. "Our game travels," defenseman Seth Jones said. "We stick to our style no matter where we play. It's great to feed off our home crowd's energy, but on the road, we keep it the same. Simple, north-south hockey, making life tough for our opponents." After the heartbreak of an overtime loss, Florida needed to hit reset fast, and Sam Bennett wasted no time setting the tone in Game 2. Just over 2 minutes in, he cashed in on the power play with a goal that was more awkward than elegant, but it counted all the same. Schmidt teed him up from the high slot, and Bennett, parked in the right circle, fanned on the shot just enough to fool Stuart Skinner. The puck slid past him, and just like that, Florida was up 1-0. With that goal, Bennett didn't just give the Panthers the lead, he passed Mark Scheifele's playoff record for most road goals in a single postseason. season, and he's not slowing down. It's just clicking right now, Bennett said post-game. I'm getting great setups, not doing anything different. It's just happening. Panthers head coach Paul Maurice, who ironically was behind the Jets bench when Scheifele set that old record, isn't surprised. He praised Bennett's ability to bring the same edge no matter where the game is played. There's no drop-off. Home or road, it's all the same to him. He's not bothered by matchups. He'll take on whoever. That road warrior mindset has been part of Florida's DNA this postseason. With the Game 2 win, they improved to 9-3 away from home, just one shy of the all-time playoff record of 10 shared by 6 different teams. Only one of those didn't lift the cup. Bennett thinks it's more than just a game plan, it's chemistry. We're tight on the road, he said. We hang out more, dinners, late nights in the lounge. It brings us together. That chemistry shows up on the ice. Right now, it's showing up in the standings too. Sure, his scoring touch is well known, but what really sets Bennett apart is his comfort in the chaos. No one thrives in the trenches quite like him. Just ask the Toronto Maple Leafs and their fans. They're still bitter after Bennett knocked out goalie Anthony Stolarz in Game 1 of their second-round series. Stolarz, who had just left Florida for Toronto, never returned after that game. The hit didn't look like much, just a bump, while Bennett did what he always does: park himself in the crease and make life miserable for the netminder. But the contact was enough to cause a concussion, and he hasn't changed a bit. In Game 2 of the final, Bennett was back in the blue paint again, this time drawing a goaltender interference penalty that led to an Oilers power play goal. I'm going to be in that crease for the rest of the series, Bennett said. Consider yourself warned. Game 3 was peak Sam Bennett. Chaotic, bruising, and entirely unavoidable. You saw both sides of him on full display, the wrecking ball and the finisher. His goal? Basically a one-man demolition. He's got the full package, Maurice said after the win. Physical presence, speed, and soft hands at the end of it. That would have been enough to sum up the night, but Edmonton wasn't done. With the scoreboard out of reach, they decided to shift focus, send a message, set the tone for Game 4, whatever that actually means when you're getting blown out. The result was a sloppy penalty fest that turned the third period into a lineup sheet for misconducts. Bennett, of course, was in the middle of it. He got targeted, again, this time by Trent Frederic, who went from punching to cross-checking to slapping, all before Bennett even reacted. Eventually, Bennett fought back, but the main event came right after, Gadjovich stepping in and going the distance with Darnell Nurse. It lasted long enough for both guys to gas out, and yes, Gadjovich was sticking up for Bennett. Edmonton lost that fight too. By the end, Florida was laughing, literally, taunting from the bench, smirking at the Oilers. It's not the kind of look you want if you're heading into a must-win game on the road, especially not in South Florida. He's not just scoring, Barkov said of Bennett. He's dragging us up the ice, making plays, doing everything. And right now, he's doing it better than just about anyone despite his future. Panthers coach Paul Maurice, fully aware of Bennett's pending free agency, made sure to send a warning to any teams interested in his squad's leading postseason scorer, maybe to scare them away. Horrible attitude, Maurice said during a mid-game television interview. I think he's got bubonic plague, dengue fever. He's got a whole bunch of things. We're not sure he can be cured. Although Bennett's future is still uncertain, that won't disturb him from the needed wins to clinch the Stanley Cup. Do you see the Panthers repeating last year's success in a more dramatic style? Let's know in the comment section, and once you do that, make sure to click on the video that appears on your screen right now.